Charging your batteries from a grid on an overnight cheap rate. The first thing you need to establish is exactly what the maximum charge rate your batteries will support is. Assuming that your CAN comms is working okay for your batteries, then you can get that back from the inverter. If we press enter and go into the information screen, the highlighted one there with enter again, and then we go to the third page, you can see here that the BMS information coming from the batteries, the charge limit and the discharge limit in my case are 149 amps. The Solis storage inverters support either a 62 amp maximum charge rate, that's inverter to battery, for the 3 and the 3.6 kilowatt models, and for the 5 and 6 kilowatt models, that rate, maximum rate from mains to battery is 100 amps. So in my case, because my batteries can take 149 amps, I can charge all the way up to the 100 amp rate. If we escape out of that screen, we now go down to advanced settings at the bottom and enter. The default password is 0010, and assuming it hasn't been changed, the easiest way of entering that is to press the down key, the up key, which changes the default 0 character to a 1, and you don't need to touch the last one because it's already 0. So down, down, up and enter will take you in with the default password. We need to go down to storage energy set even. We need to go into storage mode select. We need to set self-use. Self-use is where the inverter prioritises PV power to support your house. Then if there is spare, charge your batteries. And then finally, if your batteries are full and your house doesn't need any PV, it will export it unless you've disabled it. So we press enter. First thing to do is confirm self-use and turn it on. Then we go into time of use. That's where we set the charging times and battery currents. You do need to check that your clock is correct. Modern Solis inverters will synchronise from the internet. Mine is correct there. If not, then you need to change the clock manually and make sure it's accurate, otherwise you may end up using higher priced electric because you're not charging in the cheapest rate. Time of use. The timer is this field called optimal income. So to use time of use, you need to enable that. Currently it's showing as stop. If we press down to change it to run, enter moves you between the fields. Now you recall we checked my batteries were capable of charging at 149 amps and mine is a 5 kilowatt inverter, so the inverter can charge the batteries at 100 amps. So my charge rate is set at 95. The discharge limit in my case is irrelevant because I don't discharge. Be aware that these discharge times are actually designed to empty your battery back to the grid. So if you have a super cheap, a super well priced export tariff and you've got lots of spare battery, you can actually set a discharge time to tell it to dump the batteries to the grid. I don't use those, so we need to set a charge time. So if we go down with the enter key to a charge time, my cheap rate is 2 AM to 6 AM. So I'm going to set to 10, just to make sure we're definitely inside the cheap rate, to 5, 50-ish or wherever we land. I'm holding the key down, by the way, you can click it. There we go, so I've now got a 3-hour, 40-minute charge of my batteries, starting at 10 past 2, finishing at 10 to 6, at a 95 amp rate. You come out of that screen with the enter key, and save and exit. You then need to switch on charging from the grid, which is under that other option. So if we go down to that one, charging from the grid, and we need to allow it. That's done and saved, and that's my battery set up to charge from 2:10 in the morning to 5:50 in the morning at 95 amps. Bye bye.